Okay, I think I'm live now. Sorry about that. There was something weird with my audio. I hope I'm good now. Please tell me I'm good. Am I good? Hang on, I'm just starting my recording here. Okay, better. Perfect. I wanted to talk about Robin Bullock. I haven't talked about this guy in, like, forever. If you don't remember him, you don't know who he is, he famously claimed that, you know, as a prophet of God, God is telling him that Donald Trump is going to win in 2020. And of course he didn't. And Robin Bullock gets all bent out of shape over it and starts yelling at people. This one is from 2021, mid-November 2021. He's a QAnoner too, by the way. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I got to change my audio outputs. There we go.
Apologize. Go ahead and apologize. Well, no! How about that? Just so you can hear me again. No!
What a ridiculous human being.
Because you are wrong. If this had no meaning to it and no prophet standing speaking today was, if they were all wrong.
So, oddly placed cough.
Why don't it go away? How come it hasn't ever faded away? How come it's still a fight?
It's only a fight in this dude's head.
Over that election. If it was wrong and it wasn't true, then why are we still debating all of this?
Who is debating this?
Folks, it would have already passed. You keep your doctrines.
Wait, am I good? Okay, people, I thought for a second people telling me that it's bad, like my audio. Okay.
You keep your doctrines. You keep your doctrines, but I'll tell you what, you are going to answer for trying to regulate the Lord's prophets. You with your big educations. You're going to answer for trying to regulate a prophet of the Lord and telling a prophet of the Lord that what God said is not true, but what you said is true. You're in trouble. You're in trouble now.
Dude, this is one of my favorite clips of all time. I love this. And when he's like yelling at people, notice what he's doing with the books here. Well, what's happening? What's he doing? What is this? Books are just sitting there. And then he grabs them, right? And he puts one on top of it and then moves the whole stack and then picks it up and moves it again. What is he doing with these books? They're exactly where they started now. Why is he doing this? Anyway, he's just... I don't know. I don't know what word to use for him. Well, anyway, he's got some things to say about the 2024 election. So I want to listen to what he has to say. On the left is Steve Schultz. This is his Facebook page. 400,000 subbies or something, I think. Robin Bullock on the right. Let's give it a listen, shall we? While we listen, we're going to play some Tears of the Kingdom. Should just be in the background. Won't bother you too much. You never played before. But anyway, yeah, let's give this a listen. Oop, sorry. I hate Facebook video player.
Well, let me just jump into this. We were going to cover, you and I were talking about the election on the phone and just comparing notes. And then all of a sudden you volunteered. I'd like to start coming on once a week before the election. What is it that got in your heart that made you realize you needed to take it to the next level during this pre-election time?
Oh, my God.
Well, to me, what has happened is I'm not sure. You know, we talk about a lot of deep things on this program, you and I. We'll talk about a lot of deep things. We are in a time when everything the enemy has planned to do in this earth, he has brought to this moment in time. This is his time.
The enemy. So I guess he's saying Satan has, like, configured the whole system to work to his benefit. Okay.
This is it. If he can steal this one, it will never go back to the way it was.
Why would Satan be able to win against God? I don't understand. Should I be concerned? Should I be like trying to get on Satan's good side if he has a possibility of winning?
I don't mean like, well, in the next 4 years we'll do it. No, you won't either. You won't do it again in 4 years.
Well, I get voting, right?
Yeah.
It'll never come back again.
I mean, can I just say it this way or ask it this way? Are you prophesying that if we lose this, we won't get it back? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. It'll take at least, what'll happen is it'll throw everything into another prophetic cycle.
Oh my God, dude, he's prophesying this. I gotta write this down. Robin Bullock prophecy. And this is at 12 minutes. Robin Bullock prophesies that we won't have a democracy anymore if Kamala wins. You know something I've noticed from these people? They keep flipping it around and making claims that, their political enemies are claiming. Like calling Joe Biden a predator or whatever when Donald Trump is a predator, like verified, court case and everything. This is just kind of the MO.
Yeah.
See, the scripture says that the heart of a king is in the hand of the Lord, and he turns it whithersoever he will. It's as the rivers of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he will. And what that means is it's Lord in all capitals. It's talking about the heart of a king. Every move a king makes, he starts a seed in motion that starts a prophetic time turning. And the word Lord is God in his system of government.
I don't know what the hell that means. The word Lord is God in his system of government?
And so every time it'll start something moving. See, where we are in time right now, I tried to tell people this, Steve, on this program, with you and I, that there was 3 people that had to be removed out of the way. Now, and people looked in order to bring in this Antichrist regime.
This is an Antichrist regime. Biden is an Antichrist. Okay.
See, I don't believe the Antichrist is supposed to come in right now.
Yeah.
I think that Daniel 7:25 says that Satan thinks to change times and laws. He's trying to change a time to get it in here early.
He's trying to come back as
what God is?
As an Antichrist.
Oh no, Biden, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're saying this is not his time.
This is not the time.
Yeah.
And we're in the battle for a timeline.
Wait, I thought that he said that Biden is the Antichrist. Is it his time or not? I don't understand. I'm so lost.
Yeah.
Jesus said it this way. He said,
here we go.
Because you didn't know the time of your visitation. He goes on to say, there is a power that will come and lay thee even with the ground.
Okay, I don't know what he's talking about here. I don't know the context or if this verse is even real. Did Jesus say this? I don't remember anything about that. And this dude has a tendency to just make things up, so be skeptical.
Because you don't know the time. You missed the time.
Wow.
See, if we do battle for time, time is so of the utmost importance, and we don't understand time.
Somebody says that that's Luke in 1944. Okay, maybe it is real then.
See, time is not your friend. People say, well, time, but time is not your friend. Time is your servant.
I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. What does any of this mean? Is he just spouting off nonsense because he thinks it sounds cool?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, time
Never heard that.
Yeah, time is your servant. It's not your friend. Time is to serve you.
What?
Time is to, see, time comes from the future all the time.
What the hell is he talking about? Time comes from the future? What? This is as stupid as that thing that he said forever ago. What was it? Let's see if I can find the clip for that. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, let me pull this one up. This is from late February 2022.
And you have to ask yourself this. How did he move those timbers around?
Talking about Noah.
Yeah.
How did he pick up those timbers and
Massive.
move them around? Well, there's something called, you know, everything has a frequency.
Yeah.
This AirPod case has a frequency. If you could, because it's made of matter,
Right.
if you could match the frequency of this AirPod case and you knew what it was and you could match it, you could pick it up off the ground without touching it.
Okay, wow. You can tell that he is like anti-intellectual. Like he does not like the kind of college education or information that contradicts him or what he says God told him or whatever. We knew that from the previous clip, of course, but what an absolutely absurd thing to say. That's where I feel I am right now in this newer video.
If you're walking, you know, it comes from tomorrow. The time is like breath. It's like air. It's like the breath of God coming from tomorrow. And it comes into the present, from the future into the present, and exits in the past.
What the hell does this mean? Any of this? I am so lost.
That's why if you try to live in the past, you choke. There's no spiritual oxygen back there.
Yeah.
You start trying to breathe. In hell, people
Dude, this is just complete nonsense.
breathe. They try to breathe. You know, one man went into hell, wrote a book. When the
Who? Who went to hell and wrote a book?
Lord brought him out, he talked about how you tried to breathe in hell. And it's
Who's he talking about?
just like short little, because you're living in your past. You're tormented by the past of what you didn't do
Like, I don't even know what to say to this.
constantly. And there's no air, there's no breath. In the present, you're breathing the air of tomorrow.
He's saying it so authoritatively, like he knows what the hell he's talking about. That's entertaining as hell.
Constantly. And there's no air, there's no breath. In the present, you're breathing the air of tomorrow. You're nourished by tomorrow. You're nourished by hope. And if you'll notice, hope deferred makes the heart sick.
Mm.
It makes the soul of a man sick.
Heart deferred?
And there's no air, there's no breath. In the present, you're breathing the air of tomorrow. You're nourished by tomorrow. You're nourished by hope. And if you'll notice, hope deferred makes the heart sick.
Oh, hope deferred makes the heart sick. I was so confused by that. Well, I'm not much... I don't have much more information to go off of here. Like, this is just meaningless nonsense, right? How did this dude get famous? Why did anybody believe this?
Mm.
It makes the soul of a man sick if your hope is cut off. Well, Satan, he recognizes time, and the church doesn't, for the most part. They just don't get it with time. And so when the air starts, when it starts being cut off, Satan, he starts trying to change the time. In order to bring the Antichrist into this world right now, he had to get rid of 3 people. He must deal with 3.
Okay, what did any of that have to do with time? The Antichrist coming in and dealing with 3 people? Why did he say all of that? I don't understand.
But Steve, and that was Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Vladimir Putin.
Those are the 3 people that Satan needs to get rid of? Is that what he's saying? Okay.
And I said this the whole time. If you'll remember, I used to say this a lot.
Yeah, you did.
I said he has to deal with them. Well, think about it. He tried to kill, he created Ukraine and just to turn the world against Putin. To try
God created Ukraine?
to kill him. And they did. The Wagner group tried to assassinate him. Remember?
Yeah.
They tried to get rid of him.
Oh my God, dude, this is ridiculous. Wagner Group did not try to assassinate Putin. Oh God, there's so much nonsense here. So I think he's saying that Satan created Ukraine, right? To hurt Putin because Putin is like an honest guy, a good guy. It is wild to me that this pro-Russia propaganda is like slipping into their sermons and no one is connecting the dots on this. Like, is the intelligence community watching what's happening right now and trying to find links to where these people are being fed this information? Anyway, aside from all of that, Wagner Group did not try to assassinate Putin. They did run a coup through Russia, but it wasn't an assassination attempt. And the next day, or like 2 days later or something, the leader of Wagner Group died in a plane crash. That is wild, man. Why would he do something like that? I don't get it. Anyway.
Not because he's such a saint, it's because he won't bow to a one world leader. And
Putin won't bow to a one world leader, okay. Then why hasn't Putin said literally anything about this?
So they have to get rid of him. So they had to get rid of Trump, so they manipulated the vote to get rid of him. They tried to get rid of
Who is they?
Netanyahu. They did the same thing. Well, all of a sudden, a prophet calls Netanyahu back. 5 times he comes back now. It threw hell into a tailspin.
Okay, I don't know what he's talking about, these prophets or whatever, but Netanyahu is a colossal scumbag. I'm sure that most people can agree on that, right? Pro-Israel, anti-Israel, whatever. He is just a bad person. And he's actually, to my knowledge, he's like so far right-wing, it's crazy. But I believe he's he's not right-leaning in the context of the rest of the government in Israel. Like, there are so many further right people than him in the government. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, they have like 1 billion different political parties and they have to form coalitions to work together, which I think that's really good actually, but Netanyahu keeps like defaulting to the person that takes the position because all of the parties just work out that way. Like, they don't want more extreme people on either side to take the position.
They don't know what to do.
Oh, by the way, is this a wig? Tell me if you think it's wig. I don't think it is, actually. I think this is real hair.
Trump suddenly comes back and they said there's no way he's going to lose this. But the
Who said there's no way he's going to lose this?
prophets called him back. So what did they try to do? Shoot him. That's the first thing they tried to do, was kill him.
Oh my God, dude. Who is they? This is insane. He's, what, claiming that, like, Democrats are they or something? I don't have any idea. Aside from that, yeah, what he's talking about here with prophets calling him back and all that. Oh, God, it's so cringy. Kat Kerr and Robin Bullock both called Trump to the White House and said, you just have to walk in and everybody will support you. Where was that one? Let me see if I can find that real quick. From Robin Bullock. I think it's... Yeah. Here we go. Oop. Hold on. Yeah, check this one out.
The stage is set. Everything is set. But you're going to have to pray for the rightful president, whether he wants to walk back into this or not.
By the way, this is March 2021. Leading up to this, there's this big QAnon conspiracy theory that... oh, God, it's so complicated. I don't need to go through the whole thing right now, but people believed that when the U.S. government merged with the Confederacy in 1860, whatever, 65 or something, they didn't merge into the U.S. government again. They merged into the corporation of the U.S. government or whatever. And that means everything that the U.S. government has ever done since 1865 is illegitimate and should be reversed. And QAnon is telling them that it absolutely will be reversed. You just have to give it time and all that. Well, one of the things that they expect to be reversed is Inauguration Day, because Inauguration Day was April 4th originally, and then it switched to January 20th, I think in the 1920s or something like that. So they believe that Trump believed that he was going to be inaugurated on April 4th secretly by like the military or whatever. And of course it never happened because it was complete nonsense. So a week before any of that happens, Robin Bullock says all of this.
You must pray that he wants to do it, because God won't make him do anything. Is it his will? Yes. Is he the president? Yes. That's why he could just walk right back in, and God will supernaturally move things out of the way. But you need to pray for encouragement. Nobody was beat on like that, like our president.
Nobody? Really? You can't think of a single person who's had a harder time than Donald Trump? Okay.
For 4 years. Nobody. David could have said at any time, I don't want to do this no more. I think I'll just stay in the wilderness. I've been chased by Saul long enough. But there had to come a time when David said, I'm going back. And no matter what happens, he's the president, and he's supposed to walk back in that office. So call him back. Call him back. Call him back. Once he knows the prophets are calling, he'll come.
He thinks Donald Trump is going to just waltz into the White House and sit down at the Resolute desk if enough prophets of God tell him to do it. I so wish that he was correct about that. I would love to see that play out. It would be so awesome.
Hallelujah. We're going to have to start publicly talking about that he's the president. Yeah. I know. People say, really? Why would you say that in public? Because he is. That's why I say it. Because he is. In the time of the two, the bygone.
Oh, God. He's worked politics into his religion seamlessly. This is nuts.
Then there is, the enemies released the double. So the Lord released the Elisha anointing.
That means prophets of God are wandering around all over the place, like Robin Bullock, of course.
For the double. Don't mess with us, Satan. Don't mess with us corrupt political regimes. Don't mess with God's people like that, because I'm going to tell you something. If you mess with us, we'll call him back for 3 terms. Don't mess with us.
God, it's so cringy, dude. Oh, my God. How does he show his face after things like that, honestly?
Really. And they got to get rid of these 3.
Yeah, and that means...
So whoever the hell they is, has to get rid of Trump, Putin, and who was the third person? I don't remember. Oh, Netanyahu.
That doesn't mean kind of disable them, make them less effective. That means they need him dead. They want him dead. They need him dead.
All 3 of them.
Yeah. And by the way, I heard a credible guy, he's got 30 million people on his podcast, one of the largest ever.
Holy heckers, that's crazy.
He said on New Year's Eve of 2020, going into 2021, the election was already stolen, but he hadn't left office yet. They tried to out him. They tried to take him out on New Year's Eve of that.
They tried to take out some dude? Who is they? Again, they're talking about like some secret cabal of like Satan worshiping whatevers that are taking advantage of kids and everything. That's what they're talking about right now. A group that doesn't exist anywhere except in their head. By the way, Miracle, the Bidon, 23 months. Keep up the great work. Appreciate that.
After the election was stolen, but before he left, because they were afraid he wasn't going to leave office.
Sure.
They tried to kill him. They almost got him, but the guy said it was never made public until now. So,
well.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I forgot earlier. Bullock said they tried to take out Trump. with a bullet since they couldn't take him out with the whatever. I don't even know. It was a Republican, okay? It was a Republican who did that. Oh, my God, people.
And then
they keep trying.
Yeah, and Saul threw his javelin 3 times at David. So there's one more he hasn't done yet. See, here...
Okay, wow. So the story about King Saul and David. Saul getting all miffed at David and throwing his javelin at him. David had to flee to the south, right, and build up a band of merry men. Not like that. Well, maybe like that. That would be awesome. Anyway, he came back and took the, the position as king, so on and so forth. So where does Trump factor into that? I don't know where he's getting this. I mean, did he just see the number 4 at some random place in the Bible and say that must represent the number of times that Trump is going to be whatever?
Let me throw out a supposing to the people. Now, I'm talking, let me just put this out there.
Okay.
And I'm going to word it this way. Just on purpose, I'm going to say it this way.
Is he about to be a colossal scumbag?
Okay. Just suppose, for a minute.
Are you going to get to it?
That the voting, that the fix is already in. In other words, no matter how many people vote, they win.
So you're
saying
suppose that's the case.
Yeah. Which, this is a very affirmative suppose.
No, it isn't. There is no quote-unquote fix. He lives in a delusional fantasy land. Jesus Christ. I mean, we're talking about the guy who believed that the deep state was going to reinstate Trump, following God's will and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, nothing surprises me from him.
Supposition here.
Yeah.
But if the fix is in, because the machines everybody dealt with has never been solved.
Yes, it has. Are you kidding me right now? There was no cheating. None.
Remember, it's never been dealt with.
Yeah, no, they still exist, and they haven't fixed, the same.
Yeah. And
they haven't fixed the same? What does that mean? Yeah, machines still exist. Do you know that it would be less accurate if we didn't use counters? If any candidate doubts the results of the election or has some problem with it, they can request a recount. They get one free recount if it's within a certain margin of error. But, the polls can indicate roughly if that's accurate. So if Trump is down 5 points in polling and then he gets he's down 4% in the actual vote, then I think it's probably a pretty safe bet that that's accurate. But you're entitled to a recount if you want one. They recounted and tore this entire election apart and found that it was the most secure election in U.S. history. Counting paper ballots by hand with no machines is ridiculous. How do you think that people check to see if undocumented immigrants are not voting? They do it by cross-referencing databases. So what you're doing is going to make things less secure. Genius.
And so I said, I had heard the Lord say that time, he said and I heard it this way, remember, I heard it's a mutated virus.
Okay, let me rephrase. I'm sorry. Oh my God, now we're getting into COVID. How do you think they know if somebody who has a social security number or a driver's license in the United States but is not a permanent resident votes? If you're undocumented, you can't even register. Because what are you going to put down as your permanent address? You don't have one.
Same.
Yeah, and so I said, I had heard the Lord say that time, he said and I heard it this way, remember, I heard it's a mutated virus.
Dude, get help.
You did say that now that you mentioned that. And what did that mean? I mean, just describe what a mutated virus is.
you know, we didn't know until those two computer scientists came on with you and I talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Who?
And then this is what they said. They said, well, that's exactly what it is. And this is.
Why would computer scientists know anything about COVID being mutated or whatever? Why should I trust them over scientists who work in this field regularly? Is it because the scientists who work in this field are like secretly part of the cabal or something in your head? My God, dude, their brains are fried.
Is what one of them told me. He said, that's exactly what it is. He said when it came into the thing, it automatically created a new column. And it would move certain votes over and certain people. It did it.
I have no clue what he's talking about. And I was a software engineer for 5 years or 6 years or something. I worked on this stuff for a long time. And I worked in some real complex enterprise systems too, like banking software and stuff. This is just nonsense. Complete nonsense.
Internally.
Yeah.
Inside the thing. So it was already in a mutated virus. That's the only way I knew it, because I don't know much about computers, you know.
Bro, I am so confused. Like, what is he talking about? Why? I thought he was talking about the election again. No, he's talking about COVID. Why would computer scientists know anything about COVID being mutated or whatever the hell?
I do know how to pull the rope on one, get it started. That's about it.
I like that. That's a good one.
That's about it, yeah.
But
that's funny.
But anyway, it would change it. Well, now watch this. Just suppose. Now as far as we know, whatever was accused of.
Wait. I'm sorry. Are we talking mutated computer virus? Is that what he was talking about? Okay, that would make a lot more sense. I was so lost, dude. Okay. Wow, that's really interesting. I think a virus is defined as anything that has self-replicating code, right? So if it can like reproduce the code and place it somewhere else, then it's a virus, good or bad. So he's saying that the virus mutated, the computer virus. What would that mean exactly? What would that entail?
But anyway, it would change it. Well, now watch this. Just suppose. Now as far as we know, whatever was accused of in those machines it was never fixed.
Well, it's not real is the thing. You can't fix something if it's fictitious.
Nobody ever fixed it, Steve.
Right.
Okay, and what's the point here?
So the fix is in. So if the fix is in already, that no matter how many runs through, it's always going to come out 51-49. However,
But it's not. Are you serious right now?
Just enough to edge it out. Then think about something. If no matter what happens, then Satan has one problem, and the other party has one problem. They have to have somebody, because it's going to come out their people win anyway. So they've got to have somebody.
Well, then why did Trump win in 2016 or whatever? And additionally, why did Democrats win the presidency, but Republicans won the House and I believe the Senate in, when was that? Well, they won the House in 2022. And in 2020, didn't they have both? I don't remember. 2018, the Democrats had it, I think. I don't remember now. Anyway, Republicans keep taking seats. Why? Why is that happening if there's a fix or whatever? Don't tell me that they did it to cover it up or whatever, whoever the hell they is. This is so ridiculous.
That's popular enough that you would believe just edged Trump out. But it's got to be somebody popular enough that it's believable. Because
right now that doesn't exist, right?
Well,
why does it have to be believable? You know that there are dictatorships that actually do mess with the vote, and they consistently get like 70% of the vote in those countries. Like Belarus, for example, clearly a dictatorship. The opposing party like doesn't even exist anymore in their parliament or their Congress or whatever. It's just Lukashenko and his minions. That's it. Like it doesn't. 70% is believable to some degree, I suppose, a little bit. If people were really rigging the system, they could totally just make it 70%. But no, they're actually losing seats, Democrats are. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
See, but now you've got an answer as to why a certain candidate has just been all of a sudden pumped up the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I see. You're saying they're making it happen.
Absolutely, so that it's a picture of somebody popular enough.
Well, she couldn't just be popular. It has to be like a secret cabal plot or something. Are you kidding me?
That they could have edged him out, because the machines are going to show it edged out anyway. It don't make any difference. So they've got a problem here.
All right, machines are going to show that that Trump loses. So at the beginning of this, he said, if Trump loses, then we're in bad shape, right? What's going to happen exactly, I wonder, in his head? What does that mean?
But then when whoever tried to kill Trump, all of a sudden,
That Republican dude?
prophecy, a shot heard round the world.
Yeah.
Donald Trump won. All of a sudden that went into motion, and everybody said he would win. They started saying that shot he won now.
Well, yeah, I mean, people were concerned about the fact that might have boosted his popularity, but surprisingly, it didn't. I thought for sure it would. Historically, like, assassination attempts or injuries or whatever have boosted people in the polls, but because people feel bad for him, But that didn't happen this time, surprisingly. Well, I think it happened a little bit. There's like a little boost. It's super surprising to me. Anyway, it's some big conspiracy, of course.
Won. Well, now they're having a problem, because if you'll notice, they talk about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, oh, it was electrifying. Oh, it was electrifying. Every news reporter used that one word, electrifying.
I've literally not heard any news reporters call it that. I think it is, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But he's saying that, like, every news reporter called it electrifying? Like, what?
Electrifying. And the other day, another news reporter used this word, inflection point.
They did. Is that right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
And they know it's at this point.
Yeah.
It's got to turn, or it's going to go, or it'll never go back. Well, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So here you've got it. They've got to have somebody who's popular enough that it would be believable that they.
Now, to me, can I just say right now, I understand that they're saying it's electrifying. Yeah. To me,
I get, why does it have to be believable? This makes no sense at all. If it's just going to be rigged, like the belief system is mutually inconsistent.
They're a long ways away from making her popular enough, right?
Oh yeah, but not in their minds.
Yeah.
And you already see every news outlet is on her side.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And look at the poll.
Fox News, Newsmax, One American News Network are on Kamala Harris's side, is what you're telling me? No, not every news network is on her side. Some of them are unbiased. But you know what? I guess that means if they're unbiased, that means that they're in favor of Kamala Harris. Otherwise, they'd be helping get Trump elected, right? Like Reuters, for example. Jesus, dude.
She's neck and neck with Trump. Well, that's ludicrous, and you know it is.
It's not real.
But
why does he think it's ludicrous?
Why are they saying that she is? Because the fix is in. They cannot win without.
Hasn't he said this like 13 times?
Cheating. They just can't.
Yeah.
So it's got to be somebody that's got popularity enough. So they're saying this. we ain't heard nothing like this since Obama. We've never heard Obama. She's like him. It's just, and then he starts using his slogan, yes, she can. Yes, she can.
Yeah, Obama did say that at the DNC, I remember.
For her, everything
really?
is they're trying to build a popular.
Right, you're telling me that Democrats want a Democrat to win? Knock me over with a feather.
Somebody that will be credible for the fix that's already in.
Well,
Does that make sense?
But it makes sense what they're trying to do. It does. But I hear everything you're saying, but I'm kind of going, Trump, after the assassination attempt, is more popular than ever.
But he's not.
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that there's a prophetic word out there that says, a shot heard around the world, Trump won.
Trump won.
So I'm not quite sure where you're.
Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We're pointing out their problem first.
Dude has to say it a 14th time because bald guy on the left doesn't get it.
Okay.
The problem is they never fixed the way they cheat.
Yeah.
So they have to have a candidate that's going to be popular enough. It don't matter about substance.
Yeah.
She's got to be a rock star in order to believe, for people to believe it, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
That somebody could edge him out. But when they do this, it's getting more difficult every day.
Yeah.
Because, like when the assassination attempt, suddenly he soars.
Yeah.
That did not happen.
Well, I gave a prophetic word, Steve, and I've never played it. I mean, it's on the air. You could find it, where it was an Ehud prophecy. It's on my YouTube channel. Well, I thought it was about, in those days, we just put it with Joe Manchin, but I gave it on your program, where I said there's somebody on the left is going to reach over to the right. And
you did say that. You did say that.
And suddenly,
as if people on the left don't try to work with the right all the time. Like, what is revolutionary about what he's saying right now?
Come from the left to the right, that's going to upend everything. And when it does, they're going to sound a trumpet and gather all the people together. And then all at once, RFK left the left.
Totally.
And went.
But he didn't leave the left. RFK? He was pretending to be left when he ran for the Democratic Party. He was not at any point left in the past 5 years. He hasn't been on the left at all. And then he endorses Trump. I mean, that seals it. He was never on the left, at least not for a long time. And like Joe Manchin worked on the left and worked on the right. Cinema has done that. People have, hell, Mitt Romney was on the right and is now voting for the left because of Donald Trump. This happens. This is called politics.
Totally.
To the right.
See, you gave that word. It had to do with a sword. Someone drew a sword.
Sure did.
Is the Ehud prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't say what it was at the time. I think
that's because he was looking for an opportunity to retroactively go back and fill in the blanks, of course.
There were some suggested possibilities, but I don't.
And we put one guy with it because it started showing up immediately when that Joe Manchin guy and went to the right. But it didn't fulfill the prophecy.
Okay.
You can't just say, like, I'm going to drink water at some point today and call it a prophecy. That is not how it works.
But this RFK was every bit of the prophecy. And remember, there was another one the Lord gave me that said there's going to be something Democrats for Trump, but it'll be called something for Trump.
Yeah.
And it'll be a bunch of Democrats leave, and now they're leaving the Democrat Party by the drove.
Who? What are you talking about? No one is leaving the Democrats.
That was the truth. You did say that on this program, Democrats for Trump.
Sure did.
And
if you could find,
is there a Democrats for Trump group? I've never heard of that before. I guess there's an everything for everything group, right? There were Jews for Hitler back in the 1930s, and Hitler like banned it in 1935.
Team found that right now, the Ehud prophecy. It's on my YouTube channel. It's just real short.
Yeah, and they might find it in our clip channel, guys, or it's in your YouTube. Okay, I'll let them work on it.
Sure.
It might be either super easy or maybe not so much. We'll see what they can find.
Whatever they can do. You got a great team.
Yeah,
but anyway, so that kind of prophecy, see, it's making it difficult on them to get somebody popular enough to be believable of the cheat. So what's going to happen is this. He becomes, the more Democrats leave and go to Trump.
Like every step of the way, he's building out this like syllogism, right? He's got a bunch of premises and he's reaching a conclusion. Every single premise, every step of the way is nonsense, all of it. There's not this massive move for Democrats to start voting for Trump. The machines are not rigged. I mean, everything he says is garbage.
The more it all happens and keeps building on the side of Trump, what will happen is they're going to have to hide it and just concede somehow, because they cannot let the vote come out showing they won if their candidate's not popular enough to have been believable.
That's ridiculous. Lukashenko sucks. Nobody likes that guy, and he keeps getting 70% consistently. If dictators want to do that, then they do it. What are you talking about?
And so it's a real dilemma. And
in other words, if you just used the word concede, are you suggesting that they might concede, or you're saying there's no way they're going to concede?
No, what has to happen, they're going to shoot for broke.
Yeah.
They got to.
Yeah.
Because if they don't pull it off, somebody will probably go to jail.
Yeah.
So
that's what they said last time, these people on here. Robin Bullock said somebody's going to jail, and it never happened. Remember him saying this stuff? Hold on. Wait. Do I have, I know I have this clip. Let me find it. Wait a second.
I have, but did you know I have evidence?
Yeah, this is it. This isn't Bullock, but this is a fellow prophet of God, quote unquote, Andrew Womack, talking to this guy who is Doug something. He's a physicist, and he was very involved in the whole, the FBI is watching him because of what he did with the election.
I have evidence, and we have whistleblowers, that we also have people in America that are traitors that cooperated with this to get the ends that they wanted. So it's not just foreign actors. We've got some bad actors in our own country, and frankly, they're traitors, and they deserve a traitor's treatment.
If you can prove this, are people going to be guilty of
I mean, nobody can prove it because it's made up.
treason? Is there going to be jail time or repercussions for them?
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind that we have some real traitors. And I talk to a lot of veterans these days, and they're the guys who...
You see him adjusting his tie, his American flag tie?
Have been in the field and seen their buddies die in the field.
I've been right there.
You're a vet as well.
I am.
Are you just going to roll over and let the liberty that your buddies died for just go to waste? No way. And that's what I think is happening. As people are waking up, especially our vets, they're saying, "Hey, my oath is a lifetime oath. I'm still going to serve my country."
That is psychotic.
I think people are rising up, and they're not going to just be happy with, well, let's just slap that guy in the wrist. No way, that person's a traitor. And my buddies died for less than that. So I think there's going to be some pretty stiff consequences coming up.
His buddies died for less than that? I think the most surprising part about this is the idea that he has buddies. Anyway, the point is that these prophets of God have been claiming people are going to jail for I'd say at least 6 years, right?
Oh, but what has happening is, if they can't get a candidate popular enough to be believable, that they could actually edge Trump out, because the vote's going to come out their way anyway. So they're going to have to hide that somehow and say, because if not, they're caught.
Yeah.
They're caught. Well, you believe that they're caught anyway, even though like nobody was caught with anything. So why would anybody try to hide it? What are you talking about?
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't quite get the strategy. How would they?
Right? Thank you. There is no strategy. Robin Bullock is just making things up.
Hide. They can't hide that the candidate isn't popular, because everyone would know by the time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what it is when they realize they don't have anybody popular enough to win.
Yeah.
That to be
But didn't they just like say that Kamala is popular enough to win?
believable.
Yeah.
That actually won, because the machine's gonna make them win anyway. That's what I'm trying to say.
And what is that, number 15 that he said this now?
I see what you're saying. One way or another, the machine's going to say the fix is in. It's already inside the machines.
It's never been fixed.
I mean, I've heard it suggested that by the time we get to
You hear those weasel words he just used? I've heard it suggested. Who suggested this, Steve? Can you give me a name?
election, the machines will be disallowed, but that's just a pipe dream.
No,
you know?
I don't think it's such a pipe dream, and it could. I said it could happen.
Yeah, like the military steps in because.
Well, I don't even know.
Oh boy, we are in La La Land now. The military is going to step in and make sure the machines aren't used. Again, it is bad for the election to not have machines doing the counting.
Well, that I think they would probably step in on their own, because if they realize, wait a minute, we don't have anybody believable enough to beat him, we better disable it ourselves.
I see.
And
okay.
that's what I mean by
I don't.
that, because if we don't, we're caught.
Yeah, yeah.
Did Steve just like not get it this entire time and decide that he's done trying and so he just concedes?
Because going to jail is the smallest possible. So that's treasonous if it's caught. Honestly, people that were caught with that's treason, and that's not just jail time. That's you end
that's
lifetime.
That's bad, man. That's bad. But you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, yeah.
If the fix is in, and all they lack is somebody that's believable enough to validate their fix.
Yeah.
But
Is this number 16 or 17? I don't remember now.
If Trump keeps soaring and soaring and soaring, and they realize there's no way nobody will believe this, they're going to have to go in and fix that.
That's a fascinating. I fully understand.
No, it's not fascinating. It's garbage.
Now what you're saying, and boy, wouldn't that be? That would be a lot of fun to watch him.
Well, this is their dilemma.
Yeah.
This is their dilemma, Steve.
Yeah.
They don't.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the dilemma for the left here? That Kamala Harris isn't popular enough for it to be believable that Trump would lose to her? Is that the claim here? You know, I think that what's happening with these people is they're falling into the same trap that I fell into in 2016. I thought that Bernie Sanders was way more popular than he was. He just wasn't as popular. He was very, very popular on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, all over social media, with young people primarily. But there's like a loud group of conservatives who are excited for things, I'm sorry, a loud group of progressives excited for things who all supported Bernie. It gave us like a skewed perspective, a skewed impression of his popularity. That's, I believe, what's happening with these guys in Trump. All they hear, all day, every day, is Trump is incredible. Everyone loves Trump. He's the best. He's fantastic. They can't get their heads out of that environment.
I mean,
because as we live and breathe, she's becoming less and less popular to everyone that's really paying attention.
She is?
She's going to make Biden's popularity look
Oh my
like
goodness.
he's very popular because Trump's got
Like, Biden wasn't unpopular. He was, not liked by the right. And there were some things that center, like independents and some of the left didn't like about him. But overall, I think he was fine. Oh my God, the cat is losing his mind right now.
I believe he's got something, and again, this is me just postulating. I think we're going to
Oh, wow. So he's admitting he's just about to make something up. Go on.
have one star after another A-lister suddenly switch sides. I think Trump's got him.
Well, tell me what that will do. If one after another goes after Trump, they don't have any way they know no one will believe they could win.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to go in and change the vote to an honest
that'd be fascinating. That's a fascinating.
They'll have to fix it. If not, they're caught.
It's not fascinating. It's nonsense. So, wait. So Biden, I'm sorry. Bullock is saying then that Democrats definitely are not going to, like, rig the vote because Kamala won't be popular enough to do that? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And that.
God, this dude is like the king of just spewing nonsense for 20 minutes straight.
That brings along another dilemma, if you will. If
it is a dilemma.
I will not.
Well, the dilemma's on our one dilemma's on our side is if too many people think it's obvious Trump's going to win and then they don't vote, that's not going to work either.
Yeah, but we're not through yet.
All right. Okay.
Just hang on and watch.
All right. We got a part B. Part
okay,
two.
they said they found that Ehud prophecy.
Oh, okay.
Now we can show that, but all you're going to see is the first inklings of that fulfillment. And then we know now what RFK has done.
Yeah.
So watch this and see what it describes to you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
God, this is super loud. Sorry, guys. I'll lower it in post.
Eglon reached out to him. Ehud reached on his right thigh with his
it's 2021.
left hand, pulled this dagger out and ran it through him. And he tried to pull it out, but the fat closed up on the handle. And it said the dirt ran out.
Oh my.
Okay.
My goodness.
Now Ehud went and blew a trumpet after that and gathered all the people to him and delivered. He was a judge.
Dude, why did they have this stupid music in the background?
Judge of Israel, left-handed judge. Here's where the Lord said we are about these wicked people. He said there's
Oh my God, this music is so distracting.
somebody coming from the left who will just unexpectedly go to the right side.
Oh, wow.
And pull that dagger.
Okay. I don't know why he thinks that. Well, I guess he's saying that Trump had a dagger go into him or something, and someone on the left is going to pull it out. And his evidence for this claim is that Trump is kind of a big guy, and so the fat closed up on it. Am I reading this correctly?
And when he does, he's going to expose, or she, whoever it is going to expose all the dirt that this fat, corrupt party has filled themselves with. And when...
Wait, are the Democrats the fat guy? I'm trying to make sense of this.
And it does. It'll be like a secret thing. They never expected someone from the left to reach over to the right and run it through their own party, and it expose all the corruption.
So he's saying that, like, people are going to betray Democrats, right?
After that, the one on the left, watch this, sounded a trumpet, and Israel was delivered.
Whoa.
Somewhere along the line, the prophecies get too clear. Someone's coming from the left to the right. It's going to be a surprise. It will be the prophecy of Ehud. And somewhere there's going to be someone riding a dumb ass, and the donkeys
Riding a what?
to the right. It's going to be a surprise. It will be the prophecy of Ehud. And somewhere there's going to be someone riding a dumb ass, and the donkey's going to speak. And the donkey said to the person, said, I saved your life. I came to your rescue. If I hadn't have done it, that angel would have killed you by now.
Oh my God, dude. This guy needs help for real. This is actually a really popular strategy among evangelicals. They absolutely love making shit up that's super vague and claiming that they got a W when it, when this extremely vague thing happens. I prophesy Trump is going to win. Okay, well, you have like a 50-50 shot of being right on that. You can't claim that you spoke to God to get that information if he wins. It's like Hank Kunneman. Hang on, let me find this. Lord of Hosts Church, Omaha, Nebraska. Let's see. We've got resources. No. Our ministries, worship. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Well, I can't find. Oh, here. Is this it? Yes, yeah. So Hank Kunneman has like a whole list of his past prophecies. Let's look at the one from June 20th, 2024. Those who have cooperated with evil are on a slippery slope and are about to fall. Check out this strong prophetic word of the Lord from Pastor Hank Kunneman on June 2nd, where the Spirit of the Lord is reminding us that this is the year that righteousness and justice from the throne of heaven are invading the earth realm to bring about divine reversal in this season. Wow, okay. Here's another. Prophecy, watch the time of July. Things are not what they will appear to be. Okay. Did something happen in July? This is like months ago now. What are you talking about? Look for the resurrection of the Christ movie as a sign of God's Spirit and reforming and reviving America. I'm sorry. As a sign of God's Spirit reforming and reviving America. There's a movie about the resurrection of Christ? What? It's so ridiculously vague that you could, like, pull anything from this. You could just, like, find some random event in somebody's life and claim that this is a verified prophecy. That's what Robin Bullock is doing. That's the whole bit. What is it? Would it be Texas sharpshooter fallacy, maybe? You zero in on the hits and ignore the misses? That's what's happening. Absolutely absurd. Anyway, by the way, guys, check out my Patreon, and I'm writing a book about how the church worked with Hitler to rise to the top. So keep a lookout for that. It's not out yet. And I got to get off of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It has been fun. If you want to see more of this, I'm sorry, one more thing. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I normally stream, and I will be streaming later, but I have to bring my kid to the train station in the morning. So I probably won't be here until noon, and that's when I'll start streaming on my Unfiltered YouTube channel, Owen Morgan Unfiltered. So keep a lookout for that. And, yeah, it'll be fun. Maybe watch more of this. But let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next week, all right?